my degree of joy. The smile when you first saw me, nervous, young and free. The smile when you got the job you wanted, proud and bright. The sleepy morning smile that caught the early gentle light. The private smile you give me across a crowded room. A secret silent language that promised coming soon. The smile you wore when you were cooking, lost in your own world. The small soft smile you gave the waitress when our order was unfurled. I have an archive of your smiles, a museum in my mind. Every curve of your mouth, every expression, every kind. I visit them at night when the loneliness gets deep, when the silence of this house is more than I can keep at bay. I close my eyes and scroll through the gallery of you, the collection of your joy, the evidence of what was true. An archive of your smiles preserved in memories glass, each one a fragile artifact from a happiness that didn't last. The last smile you gave me was small and sad and thin, and it didn't reach your eyes. It was a courtesy, not a win. It was a smile you give a stranger, polite and without weight. It was the smile of someone who had already closed the gate. I didn't know it then, but that smile was the final exhibit in my collection. The last time your mouth would permit that particular curve in my direction. Now I only have the past to visit. The gallery is closing, the doors are closing fast. I have an archive of your smiles, a museum in my mind. Every curve of your mouth, every expression, every kind. I visit them at night when the loneliness gets deep, when the silence of this house is more than I can keep at bay. I close my eyes and scroll through the gallery of you, the collection of your joy, the evidence of what was true. An archive of your smiles preserved in memories glass, each one a fragile artifact from a happiness that didn't last. One day I'll stop visiting, one day I'll let the museum close. I'll pack away the artifacts, let the exhibits decompose in the archives of my heart. But not today, today I need to see you smile. Today I need to feel. Archive of your smiles, the first one, the last one, and all the ones between. The evidence of what we had, the proof of what I've seen. Archive of your smiles, my private precious hoard, the only part of you I can still afford. I remember when your love was instant, vivid, sharp and true, developed in the sunlight, saturated, bold in hue. I could hold you in my hands and see every detail, every line. The you of you was present, immediate, entirely mine. But somewhere slowly the chemicals began to fail. The contrast started dropping, the colors started pale. You didn't disappear all at once, it was a gradual soft retreat, a slow exaggeration, a blurring of the feet of us. Your edges softened, your brightness dimmed to gray, and I kept shaking the photograph, willing you to stay. You've been fading like a Polaroid, the vibrant living color becoming what a memory paints. In muted tones I hold you in my hands and watch you disappear. A little more with every passing month, with every passing year. The clarity is leaving you, the sharpness is long gone. You're becoming a suggestion, a vague and distant dawn, fading like a Polaroid. The chemicals of us are losing all their potency. There's no longer any trust in the development. You're fading and I can't make you stay. You've been fading like a Polaroid since the day you went away. I try to remember the exact shade of blue your eyes could be. I try to recall the precise pitch of your laughter, carefree and loud, but the details are slipping. The specifics are dissolving into a general impression, a broad and shallow resolving of you into memory. It's not that I'm forgetting you exist, it's that the vividness is fading. The insistence of your fist around my heart is loosening. The grip is not as tight, the image of you isn't as clear when I turn off the light and try to see you. You're becoming impressionistic, soft. You're becoming the idea of you. You're becoming the alarm. You've been fading like a Polaroid. The image growing faint, the vibrant living color becoming what a memory paints. In muted tones I hold you in my hands and watch you disappear. A little more with every passing month, with every passing year. The clarity is leaving you, the sharpness is long gone. You're becoming a suggestion, a vague and distant dawn, fading like a Polaroid. The chemicals of us are losing all their potency. There's no longer any trust in the development. You're fading and I can't make you stay. You've been fading like a Polaroid since the day you went away. I thought I wanted to keep you vivid, keep you bright and clear. I thought your fading was a loss, a tragedy, a fear. But maybe this is healing, maybe this is how grief ends. Not with a bang, not with forgetting, but with the soft, slow bend of memory. And it's something I can carry without weight. Maybe your fading isn't lost, maybe it's great. Fading like a Polaroid, and I'm not shaking it anymore. I'm letting the colors soften, I'm letting you blur into the shore of my memory. Fading like a Polaroid, and it's okay, you don't need to be vivid for me to know that you were real, that we were real. Fading like a Polaroid, and I'm finally letting you fade. I held the door open for you, wide and welcoming and bright. I held it through the winter, through the cold and through the night. I held it when my arms grew tired, when my shoulders ached and burned. I held it for the lessons I thought I hadn't learned. I held it when you walked away the first time, and the second, and the third. I held it when you came back and promised you it changed your every word. I held it through the doubt and through the fear and through the pain. I held it through the hurricane of you again and again and again and again. I held the door open and you kept walking through. I held the door open and you kept leaving too. I was the keeper of the threshold, the guardian of the way. Back to me, I was the evidence that I was willing to stay, no matter how many times you needed to leave to find your peace. I held the door open, you'd eventually cease. You're wondering, I held the door open, believing in your return. But you never really wanted it, you just wanted a place to adjourn. The door is heavy now, the frame is worn and thin. My arms are tired from holding it, my heart is paper thin. From all the times you've scraped against it, entering, leaving, I've spent a whole relationship in the doorway, perpetually grieving the moment you'd walk through it. I never got to be inside with you, settled, comfortable with nothing left to hide. I was always in transition, always in the in-between, waiting for you to choose me fully, to commit to the scene. I held the door open and you kept walking through. I held the door open and you kept believing too. I was the keeper of the threshold, the guardian of the way. Back to me, I was the evidence that I was willing to stay, no matter how many times you needed to leave to find your peace. I held the door open, you'd eventually cease. You're wondering, I held the door open, believing in your return. But you never really wanted it, you just wanted a place to adjourn. Today I'm closing the door, I'm letting it swing shut. I'm locking it and bolting it and finally putting my foot on the other side. I'm not the keeper of your coming and your going, I'm not the threshold of your leaving and your knowing. I am the house itself, and the door is close to you. I held the door open for years for you, but doors are not meant to be held open forever. They are meant to close, to protect, to keep. I held the door open, but now I'm keeping myself. I held the door open, now I'm closing it, and I am not waiting on the other side anymore. The florist would have told me, if I'd asked, if I'd cared to know, that some stems are beyond saving, that even the best green thumb can't grow. Like from a cut stem, but I didn't ask. I brought them home from you, a bouquet of apologies, of I'm sorry's bright and new. And I arranged them in the crystal vase you gave me for our third. I didn't notice then that their fragrance was already deferred to memory. I didn't see the browning at the edge of the petal. I just believed with all my heart that love could make them settle into permanence. I changed the water every day, I trimmed the stems, I gave them sunlight, planned for whispered prayers, sang hymns. I watered dead flowers, believing they could bloom. I tended to the corpse of us in our living room. Each day another petal fell, each day another leaf turned brown and brittle, another confirmation of grief. I refused to accept, I kept the water fresh, the vase clean. I positioned them in the window so the sun could intervene. But you can't resurrect what was never meant to last. I watered dead flowers, I was living in the past. You'd visit and you'd see them still arranged, still in the place. And you'd smile, that small, sad smile, and you'd look away, your face a mask of guilt and pity. You never said throw them out. You never said they're dead. You never said there is no doubt. I think you like the evidence of my devotion to the gone, the proof that you could leave and I still keep the flowers on display. It must have been a comfort, a reassurance, a balm to know that I preserve the relics of you, keep you calm. In your guilt I watered dead flowers and you let me. You never said a word. You let me tend to nothing. You let my hope be absurd. I watered dead flowers, believing they could bloom. I tended to the corpse of us in our living room. Each day another petal fell, each day another leaf turned brown and brittle, another confirmation of grief. I refused to accept, I kept the water fresh, the vase clean. I positioned them in the window so the sun could intervene. But you can't resurrect what was never meant to last. I watered dead flowers, I was living in the past. Today I finally threw them out. The stems were black, the water foul. I scrubbed the vase until it shone, polished it with a towel. It sits empty on the windowsill now, waiting for blooms. I'm not sure what will fill it, but I know it won't be tombs. I watered dead flowers, I won't anymore. I'm learning to plant seeds that haven't been cut before. I watered dead flowers, but now the vase is clean, ready for something that hasn't already been. You were always the celestial one, the center of the sky, the gravity that kept me orbiting, the reason I could fly. So high I built my wings from hope and wax, from faith and from desire. I aim myself directly at your luminous burning fire. Everyone warned me, don't fly so close, you'll melt, you'll fall. But I was young and brave and foolish, and I loved you through it all. I thought if I just got close enough, if I just reached your flame, I would become immortal, I would never be the same. I was Icarus to your sun, I flew too close to you. I ignored the warnings, I ignored what I knew. Your heat was so intoxicating, your light so bright and warm. I thought I could survive your fire, I thought I'd weather any storm. But the wax began to soften, the feathers started to slip. I felt myself descending from my beautiful doom trip. I was Icarus to your sun, and I fell into the sea. You kept burning, brilliant, never even noticed me. I don't blame you for my fall. You never asked me to fly, you never promised you'd catch me. not for holding, they are only for the stars. I was Icarus to your sun, I flew too close to you. I ignored the warnings, I ignored what I knew. Your heat was so intoxicating, your light so bright and warm. I thought I could survive your fire, I thought I'd weather any storm. But the wax began to soften, the feathers started to slip. I felt myself descending from my beautiful doom trip. I was Icarus to your sun, and I fell into the sea. You kept burning brilliant, never even noticed me. Now I'm swimming in the water, watching you burn on. You haven't dimmed at all, you haven't missed your sun. I'm learning to swim, to float, to breathe the salt and spray. I'm learning that the sea is not a failure, it's just another way to be young, and that I don't need to reach the sun to feel the light. I'm learning that the fall was not the end, it was the start of flight. Icarus to your sun, I fell hard, but I survived the sea, I survived the shards of my own ambition. Icarus to your sun, you kept burning and I kept swimming, and eventually I found my own shore. Icarus to your sun, I don't need to fly to you anymore. The storm has passed, the wind is still, the thunder is a memory. The lightning that once illuminated us has retreated to the sea. And now there's just the aftermath, the quiet, steady rain falling on the wreckage, falling on the pain. I walk through what we used to be, surveying the debris. A shattered window here, a flooded room there, the debris of our window in the roof has holes where hope used to keep us dry. The foundation is compromised, I don't know how I rectify the damage. The storm didn't just pass through, it took up residence and made a home of our home. It became the evidence. This is love's aftermath rain, the quiet, steady fall of grief. It covers everything, it seeps into the wall and the floorboards and the marrow. It's not dramatic or loud, it's the patient, persistent weeping of a solitary cloud that can't seem to move on. It's the atmosphere of loss that settles in the spaces where we used to touch across. Love's aftermath rain, no thunder, no light and no show, just a soft, sad knowledge that we have no left to go. I used to love the rain, I used to find it beautiful and clean. I used to think it washed away the old and made room for the green. But this rain doesn't wash, it saturates, it doesn't cleanse, it stains, it doesn't bring new life, it just perpetuates the remains of the old. It's not the kind of rain that nourishes and grows, it's the kind that floods and drowns, the kind that overflows the banks of what can be contained. It's not the gentle April shower, it's the relentless chronic weeping of a heart beyond its kind. This is love's aftermath rain, the quiet, steady fall of grief. It covers everything, it seeps into the wall and the floorboards and the marrow. It's not dramatic or loud, it's the patient, persistent weeping of a solitary cloud that can't seem to move on. It's the atmosphere of loss that settles in the spaces where we used to touch across. Love's aftermath rain, no thunder, no lightning, no show, just the soft, sad knowledge that we have nowhere left to go. They say the rain always stops eventually. They say the sun returns. They say the flooded fields recede and the scorched earth slowly learns to green again. I wanna believe them. I wanna see the sky clear and blue and endless. I wanna stop asking why love's aftermath rain is still falling. But I'm learning tense in the falling. Not because the rain has stopped, but because I am learning to live with the wet, to live with the cold, to live with the aftermath and still stand. They write songs about the big endings, the screaming in the glass, the slamming doors, the burning bridges, the fractures that amass into a sudden violent rupture. But our ending wasn't loud. It was the quietest catastrophe, a withdrawal from the crowd. Of us, no explosion, no fire, no dramatic final scene, just the slow sure knowledge that what we had been, it was the way your hand and mine grew looser day by day, the way your I love yous became something you'd say out of habit, not out of hunger, the way your eyes would drift when I spoke of our future, as if it were a gift. You didn't wanna open our end, it wasn't marked by any war. It was a silent, gradual closing of a previously open door. It was love's quiet cataclysm, a disaster without sound, the slow collapse of everything we thought we had found. No sirens, no alarms, no warning signs to heed, just the subtle, certain knowledge that we were no longer what we need. The architecture of our love, it weathered storms and rain, but it couldn't withstand the slow, persistent strain of neglect. It didn't crumble, it simply softly settled into dust. Love's quiet cataclysm, the inevitable rust. I think that's why it took me so long to understand. I kept waiting for the earthquake, the violent shift of sand beneath our feet. I kept waiting for the fight that would clarify the end, but there was no fight. There was just the sky growing gray, the temperature dropping, the light dimming in your eyes. There was just the gradual, quiet death of all our words. And by the time I realized the house was fully engulfed in flame, there was nothing left to salvage, nothing left to name. It was love's quiet cataclysm, a disaster without sound, the slow collapse of everything we thought we had found. No sirens, no alarms, no warning signs to heed, just a subtle, certain knowledge that we were no longer what we need. The architecture of our love, it weathered storms and rain, but it couldn't withstand the slow, persistent strain of neglect. It didn't crumble, it simply softly settled into dust. Love's quiet cataclysm, the inevitable rush. I don't know when exactly we stopped being we. I don't know the precise moment you stopped choosing me. I just know that one day I looked around the landscape of our life and found I was the only one still standing in the strife. cataclysm. No headline, no fame, just a soft, sad ending of a love without a name. Love's quiet cataclysm, the silence after the fall, the quietest disaster of a night. You came to me with dirty hands, with habits you couldn't break. You came to me with ashes, with the residue of your mistakes. And I believing in redemption, believing in the power of care, opened myself to you completely, offered you the air of my love. I said, put down your burdens, here I will hold them for a while. I thought I was being holy, I thought I was showing you style of devotion. I didn't know you saw my open palms as a place to extinguish your still burning embers, to leave the trace of your smoke. I didn't know that every time you came to me to rest, you were using my soft tissue to put out the fire in your chest. My heart, your ashtray, I let you press your cigarettes into my most tender places. I absorbed your regrets. You'd come to me smoldering, needing somewhere cool to press the heat of your guilt, your shame, your need for a confess. I wouldn't judge you, and I took it all. I let the burns accumulate. I thought each scar was a lesson that I learned in loving you. But scars don't teach, they just remain. My heart, your ashtray filled with the cold remains. You'd apologize sometimes, trace the circles on my skin, and say, I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep putting this in. You're keeping, and I'd say it's okay, I can hold it, I am strong. I confused endurance with devotion, I confused right with wrong. I thought that love was measured in the weight I could withstand. I thought that if I just kept taking it, you'd finally understand that I was worthy of your softness, worthy of your unburned hand. But you never learned to hold me gently. You never learned to stand. My heart, your ashtray, no more. I've closed the door. My heart is not a place for your cold remains anymore. My heart, your ashtray, the sign is off, the light is out. I am no longer your ash and ashtray no more. I've closed the door. My heart is not a place for your cold remains anymore. My heart, your ashtray, the sign is off, the light is out. I am no longer your agenda. You came to me with dirty hands. You came to me with empty mist. I've emptied myself in the center. You're a story just a guest. I've emptied myself for a minute. Hold my heart without you. I've emptied mine, and in your eyes I'm not your tool. Dirty hands. You came to me. We met in spring, when everything was possible and green. The air was thick with pollen and the promise of the unseen. We bloomed through summer, reckless, bold, drunk on the sun's long stay. Believing the light would last forever, but the golden hour would stay. And definitely we didn't plan for autumn, didn't think to store our harvest for the colder months, didn't think about what for. We would gather and we just collected moments, piled them high and deep, never considering that the landscape of our love would sleep. Our final season was autumn, the closing of the year. The leaves turned gold and crimson, the air grew sharp and clear. We walk through parks of fallen things, pretending not to see. Yet the trees were shedding everything they'd ever offered me. And you held hands in the crisp air, pretended it was still the summer of our loving, pretended we still had the will to wait out winter. But the frost was on the ground each morning, a quiet silver fact that our final season had arrived. But there was no turning back. I remember the exact day the last leaf fell. We were sitting on the porch, not talking, and I could tell you were already somewhere else, already picturing the spring of someone else's season, the new growth they would bring. You looked at me with something that was almost like remorse and said, I think we've had our time, I think we run our course. And the tree in the yard, which had been holding on for weeks, released its final withered leaf and landed at our feet. Our final season was autumn, the cold rain of the year. The leaves turned gold and crimson, the air grew sharp and clear. We walked through parks of fallen things, pretending not to see that the trees were shedding everything they'd ever offered me. And you, we held hands in the crisp air, pretending it was still the summer of our loving, pretended we still had the will to wait out winter. But the frost was on the ground each morning, a quiet silver fact that her final season had arrived. There was no turning back. Now it's one knows the season. I miss my faith that we would last beyond it. But some loves are seasonal, and our season has passed. Our final season, the harvest of goodbye, the gathering of what we were under the gray November sky. Our final season, and now the quiet snow covers the ground where our love used to grow. Our final season. Our final season, the harvest of goodbye, the gathering of what we were under the gray November sky. Our final season, and now the quiet snow covers the ground where our love used to grow. Where our snowsuit. We met in spring. We spent years accumulating photographs and books and things, souvenirs from trips we took, the detritus that love brings. A mug from the museum, the poster from the show, the shells collected from the beach 6 Julys ago. We built a small museum of us, a collection of our time, every object a memory, every shelf a rhyme of our life together. I was the curator, the keeper of the archive. I thought I would preserve us, keep our history alive. But now I'm scattering our dust, dispersing what we were. The books to the library, the clothes to those who prefer to wear your memory, the mugs to the charity shop, the poster to a stranger who doesn't know where we stopped. I'm scattering our dust, letting the wind take what remains of our accumulation, of our joy, of our pains. I'm scattering our dust, not because I want you gone, but because I need the space for a new, different dawn. The hardest was the photographs, thousands of pixels and prints. You laughing, you sleeping, you miss sentence mid-wince. You and I together, arms around each other, faces bright. I kept them all in boxes, never quite threw them out of sight. But today I started scanning, I started choosing which to keep, which memories are worth the wait, which ones are buried deep enough to carry. Most of them I'm letting go, I'm deleting, shredding, burning. Not from anger, not from spite, from a quiet, desperate yearning for space, forever, room to breathe without your face in every corner, every screen, every open waiting space alive. But now I'm scattering our dust, dispersing what we were. The books to the library, the clothes to those who prefer to wear your memory, the mugs to the charity shop, the poster to a stranger who doesn't know where we stopped. I'm scattering our dust, letting the wind take what remains of our accumulation, of our joy, of our pains. I'm scattering our dust, not because I want you gone, but because I need the space for a new, different dawn. I keep one box, a small one, a shoebox, nothing more. Your favorite book, the first letter you wrote, a shelf from the shore. Not to dwell in the past, not to keep myself stuck in the ache, but to remember that love happened, to remember for my own sake. Scattering our dust, letting the wind take the weight of what we were, not to forget, not to erase, but to make room for a new kind of grace. Scattering our dust and keeping just enough to know that we were loved. Scattering our dust and walking lighter into what comes. started doing it sometime after you left. I'd wake up in the morning, disoriented, bereft of the usual geography of our bed. I'd migrated in the night to your side, the side you claimed as yours by morning and by night. My hand would be on your pillow, my face in the cold dip, your head it worn into the mattress, a slow impatient ship of habit. I wasn't trying to find you, I wasn't chasing your ghost, but my body in its sleep migrated to where it missed the most. I'm sleeping on your side now, the side you used to keep. Wore my curl into the hollow where your body used to sleep. It's not a conscious choice, not a decision I make, but every morning I wake up on the side you used to take. The sheets don't smell like you anymore, but faded long ago. But the dip still fits in my shoulder, the hollow still seems to know the curve of me. I'm sleeping on your side, a nightly quiet migration to the place where my heart still expects your stationary station. I've tried to train myself to stay on my own side of the bed. I've built barriers of pillows, recited intentions in my head. Before sleep I will stay on the left tonight, I will not cross over. But by 3 a.m. I'm on the right, curl like 4-leaf clover. In your imprint, it's gravitational, this pull to your terrain. My body has its own memory, its own weather, its own rain. Of habit it doesn't know you're not coming back, it doesn't understand that the right side of the bed is no longer promised land. I'm sleeping on your side now, the side you used to keep. Wore my curl into the hollow where your body used to sleep. It's not a conscious choice, not a decision I make, but every morning I wake up on the side you used to take. The sheets don't smell like you anymore, they faded long ago. But the dip still fits in my shoulder, the hollow still seems to know the curve of me. I'm sleeping on your side, a nightly quiet migration to the place where my heart still expects your stationary station. One day I'll buy a new mattress, one without the history of your body in its foam. One day I'll sleep exclusively on the left, but for now I let my sleeping self find its way to the place that still believes you're coming home someday. Sleeping on your side, your pillow under my head, your ghost in the hollow, your side of the bed. Sleeping on your side, waiting for a warmth that won't return, but my body hasn't learned, not yet. There used to be so much on it, birthdays, anniversaries, planned weekends away, dinner dates with friends, concerts, the first day of May, marked in your hand, spring fair, don't forget, doctor's appointments, family visits, the safety net of our our shared schedule, our calendar was a living, breathing thing. A map of our togetherness, a forecast of the spring of our lives. I'd flip the page each month and see the evidence of we in every block of time, in every penciled-in spree. But now the calendar is blank, the page is white and bare. No plans, no appointments, no evidence of care. No dinner with you on Fridays, no weekend away in June. No reminders of your birthday, no anniversary to soon. Over the calendar is empty, a field of untracked days. I don't know how to fill it, I don't know how to phase myself into a future that isn't marked by you. The calendar is blank, and I don't know what to do. I keep the old calendars, I can't seem to throw them out. 2019, 2020, 21, the archive of our doubt and our certainty. I flip through them sometimes, tracing the lines of our life together. The small domestic designs we made. Here's the weekend, we painted the kitchen yellow. Here's a Tuesday, you said I was a wonderful fellow. Here's a month we fought the weeks of sparse terse ink. Here's the day you left, I didn't mark it, I couldn't even think. But now the calendar is blank, the page is white and bare. No plans, no appointments, no evidence of care. No dinner with you on Fridays, no weekend away in June. No reminders of your birthday, no anniversary to soon. Over the calendar is empty, a field of untracked days. I don't know how to fill it, I don't know how to phase myself into a future that isn't marked by you. The calendar is blank, and I don't know what to do. Today I bought a new calendar, 24, fresh and clean. I wrote in it for the first time, coffee with Sarah at 3:15. It's a small thing, a tiny mark, a single simple line, but it's the first new memory I made that is only mine. The calendar is blank, but I am learning to fill it. One coffee date, one phone call, one small brave act of living. The calendar is blank, but it won't stay that way. I am learning to mark my own days. It hangs in the back of my closet, still in its garment bag. White silk, delicate straps, a train that would drag behind me as I walk toward you, toward our shared future. I bought it in a moment of blind faith, a reckless, joyful suture to the wound of my uncertainty. I saw it in the window and I knew there was a dress I would wear when I finally walked to you. I never tried it on, I was saving it, you see, for the perfect day, for the moment when you finally see me. The dress I never wore, still wrapped in plastic, pristine, a monument to a future that was never ever seen. The tag is still attached, the hem is still unhemmed. The life we were supposed to have permanently instemmed. I touch the silk sometimes, imagine how it would have felt to walk toward you in white, to watch your own heart melt at the sight of me. But you never asked, and I never wore the dress I bought for you. Now it's just an expensive metaphor. potential it still carries, but I can't bear to lose the possibility. Even now, even after all this time, it's not the dress I'm worn, it's the dream, the paradigm of us that it represents. The future I design in such precise white silk detail, the life I had in mind. You never knew about the dress, I never told you it existed. I was waiting for the right moment, I was waiting, I persisted. The dress I never wore, still wrapped in plastic, pristine, a monument to a future that was never ever seen. The tag is still attached, the hem is still on him. The life we were supposed to have permanently unstemmed. I touch the silk, sometimes imagine how it would have felt to walk towards you in white, to watch your own heart melt at the sight of me. But you never asked, and I never wore the dress I bought for you. Now it's just an expensive metaphor. Took it out of the closet, I unwrapped the plastic shroud. I held it up to the light and let it speak to me out loud. I am not your future, it whispered, I am not your fate. I am just fabric, you are the one who made me wait. The dress I never wore, I'm letting it go. Someone else will wear it, someone else's show. The dress I never wore, it was never really mine. It was the dream of us that I couldn't leave behind. The dress I never wore. Goodbye. They told me it would feel like loss, like an amputation of death. They told me I would grieve the absence, feel the void you left. They didn't tell me it could feel like opening a cage, like releasing a bird that's been beating against its own rage. For years they didn't tell me that my hands unclenching from the rope would feel the blood return, and then would feel the return of hope. They didn't tell me that letting you go could feel less like an end and more like the beginning of learning how to bend. The gift of letting go was never what I thought. I thought it would be sorrow, a battle I had fought and lost. I thought it would be surrender, a white flag in the wind. I didn't know it would be freedom, I didn't know it would begin a new chapter, a new breath, a new way of being me. The gift of letting go is finally being free from the weight of holding on to something that had already flown. The gift of letting go was learning I could stand alone. I used to think that love was measured in how tightly I could hold, that the strength of my devotion was in the grip, the fold of my fingers around what I fear to lose. I thought that letting go was failure, was weakness, was the admission of a blow I couldn't withstand. But you taught me and you're leaving a different truth, that love is not possession, that love in its purest form is proof that two people can meet and change each other and then release, without bitterness, without blame, without the need for a police. The gift of letting go was never what I thought. I thought it would be sorrow, a battle I had fought and lost. I thought it would be surrender, a white flag in the wind. I didn't know it would be freedom, I didn't know it would begin a new chapter, a new breath, a new way of being me. gift of letting go. Not loss, not defeat, just the quiet, sacred space of my own 2 feet. The gift of letting go. I didn't lose you, I found me. The gift of letting go is finally being free. It sits in my phone like a shrine, a digital reliquary. 3 years, 4 months, 12 days since you said hey. Just checking in, just curious how your day went. Your voice is casual, easy, unaware that this will be the last recording of your breath, your air, that I will keep. I've saved it through 3 phones, through upgrades and resets, through new SIM cards and new plans and new contracts and new beds. On the future is the only recording I have of you saying my name, without anger, without distance, without the quiet flame of our ending. Just you mid-afternoon, thinking of me. The last voicemail you ever left, the last time you were free. I still listen to the last voicemail, the one before the end, before the fight, before the words we couldn't comprehend, or take back before the silence became our native tongue, before the love we built became the elegy I sung. You say, give me a call when you get this, no rush, no pressure, just. And I hear the ghost of us before we turn to dust. The last voicemail, 3 years, 4 months, 12 days of saving proof that once your voice was soft, that once you were still truth. I've memorized the cadence, the particular lilt you had when you were tired but still wanted to reach out, still wanted to add your voice to my day. I know when you pause, when you breathe, when the background noise of your office will rustle like autumn leaves through the speaker. I know the exact second you'll say my name, in the soft small sigh you make right before you hang up. The same sigh you made when you were content, when the world was in its place, before I became the memory you needed to erase. I still listen to the last voicemail, the one before the end, before the fight, before the words we couldn't comprehend, or take back before the silence became our native tongue, before the love we built became the melody I sung. You say, give me a call when you get this, no rush, no pressure, just. And I hear the ghost of us before we turn the door. The last voicemail, 3 years, 4 months, 12 days of saving proof that once your voice was soft, at once you were still truth. One day I'll delete it, One day I'll let your voice dissolve into the digital ether. Let our history evolve past this final artifact. But not today, today I press play and hear you for a moment before you went away. The last voicemail, your voice still alive in this small cold box where I keep our archive. The last voicemail, I'll let you go someday, but not today, not today. There was a time when this garden was riotous with bloom. Roses climbed the trellis, lavender filled the room, with fragrance through the open window, marigolds and sage. And the tomato plant you planted in a momentary rage of optimism. You said we'll grow our own food, we'll be self-sufficient, free. You said this garden will be the legacy of you and me, and I believed you. I watered and weeded and pruned and prayed. I watched the seeds you planted slowly, bravely make their way to sunlight. And for a season the garden was lush and green, the most beautiful evidence of love I'd ever seen. But now it's a barren garden. The beds are overrun with weeds and memories and things we left undone. The roses are long dead, the lavender is brown and dry. The tomato plants are skeletons reaching for a sky that offers no rain. I walk the paths alone, pulling thistles from the clay, trying to revive a garden that has nothing left to say. This barren garden, this plot of wasted land, is the only thing you planted that I can't seem to understand or abandon. This barren garden where nothing grows but grief is the final silent evidence of our failed belief. I keep gardening anyway, I don't know why. I turn the soil, pull the weeds, watch the empty waiting sky for clouds that never come. I plant new seeds, hopeful, small, and watch them wither one by one, not growing tall enough to survive. The soil is poison, I think, or maybe it's my hands. Maybe I don't have the touch required for these lands. Maybe some gardens are meant to be barren. Maybe some plots of earth are only good for mourning, only good for giving birth to grief. Maybe this garden isn't a garden anymore. Maybe it's a graveyard. Maybe that's what it was for. But now it's a barren garden. The beds are overrun with weeds and memories and things we left undone. The roses are long dead, the lavender is brown and dry. The tomato plants are skeletons reaching for a sky that offers no rain. I walk the paths alone, pulling thistles from the clay, trying to revive a garden that has nothing left to say. Barren garden, this plot of wasted land, is the only thing you planted that I can't seem to understand or abandon. This barren garden where nothing grows but grief is the final silent evidence of our failed belief. Today I finally understood I am not a gardener of this earth. I am a mourner of its former life, its once abundant birth. I don't need to replant, I don't need to make it grow. I need to let it rest, I need to let it go. This barren garden, I'm laying down my tools. No more seas, no more hoping for impossible blooms. This barren garden, I'm letting it return to the wild, to the quiet, to the peace of the earth. This barren garden, I'm finally setting it free, and in its emptiness I'm learning to see me. You never actually said the words, you never said I'm leaving. You never said this isn't working or I've stopped believing. You spoke a different language, a dialect, a departure and retreat, that I, in my devotion, was ill-equipped to compete with or translate. You spoke in silences that stretched from hours to days. You spoke in glances turned away, in diminished gentle ways of touching. You spoke in plans unmade, in futures less vague and gray. You spoke in the subtraction of your presence from my day. I've been translating goodbye from your native silent tongue. Every absence a syllable, every distance a verse unsung. You were fluent in farewell, a poet of the slow retreat, and I was the eager student trying to make the language sweet. With my own translation, I kept looking for the dictionary to explain your quiet vocabulary, your grammar of misery. But goodbye in your language has no direct translation, you see. It's a collection of absences. It's everything you used to be that you no longer are. I've been translating goodbye for a year, and I finally understood your goodbye was always here. The first word was the night you came home late and didn't call. The second was the weekend you spent staring at the wall instead of me. The third was the birthday you forgot. The fourth was the I'm fine when clearly you were not. The fifth was the future you stopped including me in. The sixth was a conversation that never could begin. The seventh was a touch that lingered a second less. The eighth was a distance in the bed, the cold increasing guess of your withdrawal. By the time you finally spoke the words we need to talk, I had already translated your goodbye from every silent previous walk. I've been translating goodbye from your native silent tongue. Every absence a syllable, every distance a verse unsung. You were fluent in farewell, a poet of the slow retreat, and I was the eager student trying to make the language sweet. With my own translation, I kept looking for the dictionary to explain your quiet vocabulary, your grammar of misery. But goodbye in your language has no direct translation, you see. It's a collection of absences. It's everything you used to be that you no longer are. I've been translating goodbye for a year, and I finally understood your goodbye was always here. I don't need to translate anymore. Goodbye doesn't need words. Goodbye is a space between. Goodbye is everything you were. Goodbye is everything you've been. Translating goodbye. After all this time, I finally understand your silent native rhyme. Translating goodbye. The dictionary is complete. Goodbye is the absence of you at my feet. Translating goodbye. I'm finally fluent, and I have nothing left to say to you. You loved me in fragments, in pieces, in parts. You loved my smile, my laugh, the way I made things start. You loved my cooking, my optimism, the way I kept the house. You loved my body, certain parts of it, the way I moved my mouth. But you never loved a whole of me, the messy, tangled sum of all my contradictions, the quiet, the anxious, the blunt. You love the highlight reel, the best of collection, the curated feed. But you didn't want the long, slow, ordinary parts I actually need to be loved in. You love my success, my strength, my shine. But you didn't love my failing, my fragility, my decline. You loved me in fragments, never the full book. You loved the preface, the epic breath, the beautiful shiny look of the cover. But you never read the chapters in between. You never loved the plot holes, the slow seas, be obscene, and messy middle where the character actually lives. Ooh, you love the idea of me more than the forgiveness I give to be seen entirely. You loved me in pieces, in severs, in parts, but you never loved the whole of me. You never loved my heart. I tried to be only the parts you loved. I edited myself. I put the difficult chapters on the highest, furthest shelf. I suppressed my need, my fear, my doubt, my insecurity. I performed the version of me that I thought would guarantee your continued attention. I became a collection of your favorite traits and starved the rest of me until they withered, met their fate. But a person cannot live on fragments, cannot survive on parts. And eventually the real me started screaming from the depths of my heart. never loved the whole of me. You never loved my heart. I am not a collection of highlights. I am not a curated feed. I am a whole, complete, complicated human being with needs that go beyond your comfort. I am not your edited version. I am the entire manuscript, every word, every version. You locked me in fragments, but I am not fragments. I am cold, beautiful, messy part of me. You love me in fragments, but I am not fragments. I am whole. Came to you already mended, or so I thought. My patches were invisible, my repairs were well bought. With therapy and time, I thought I was whole or close enough. I thought my fabric was sturdy, my seams were strong, my stuff could withstand the pressure of another person's hands. But you were patient, you were gentle, you had different plans. You didn't rip or tear or force, you simply found the thread that held me together. And you pulled and pulled and pulled, and then I bled. You unstitched my seams, not with violence, not with force, just a quiet, steady pulling of the thread that held the course of me together. I didn't feel it happening, didn't hear the pop of the first few stitches loosening, didn't see the drop of my defenses. And then one day I looked down and I was bare, all my stuff and showing all my fragile inner air. Exposed, you didn't mean to do it, I don't think it was designed, but you unstitched my seams. And I'm trying to realign. The first thread you pulled was the one that held my trust. It came out easy, smooth, no resistance, no dust. I didn't even notice it was gone until I tried to believe someone else's promise and found I had no capacity to receive. The second was my confidence, the belief that I was enough. You pulled that one slowly through conversations and quiet, casual stuff you say about my body, my career, my way of being in the world. And by the time I noticed the thread was gone, my flag had not unfurled. You unstitched my seams, not with violence, not with force, just a quiet, steady pulling of the thread that held the course of me together. I didn't feel it happening, didn't hear the pop of the first few stitches loosening, didn't see the drop of my defenses. And then one day I looked down and I was bare, all my stuff and showing all my fragile inner air. Exposed, you didn't mean to do it, I don't think it was designed, but you unstitched my seams. And I'm together, a new seam, a new thread. Not hiding the repair work, not pretending that I'm not reread and remade. The new seams are visible, stronger than the old. I'm not ashamed of my mending, I'm not ashamed of what I hold. You unstitch my seams, but I am learning to sew. New thread, new needle hands, my own. You unstitch my seams, but I am not undone. I am re-becoming, I am re-one. You're the almost husband, and nearly forever. The close but not quite, they're not quite together. You were the proposal that never came, the need that never bent, the future that we almost had, the life that was almost spent. On us you were the almost ring, the almost wedding day, the almost house, the almost picket fence, the almost fate. You were the almost family, the almost children's names. You were the almost everything, the almost all the same. You were my almost, the closest I have ever been to someone who could love me fully, to the forever I could win. You were my almost, and almost is the cruelest word. It's the flight that never leaves the ground, the song that's never heard. It's the almost happy ending, the almost ever after. It's the almost love that leaves you broken by its almost laughter. You were my almost, and almost is a permanent quiet ache. The life we almost had is the one I can't seem to forsake. I don't mourn what we had, I mourn what we almost were. I don't miss the relationship, I miss its almost. For a possibility, I miss the future we almost built. I miss the house we almost bought, the quilt we almost picked out together. I miss the almost of it all, the almost anniversaries, the almost rise, the almost fall. You were the almost answer to my almost prayer. You were the almost someone, you were the almost there. You were my almost, the closest I have ever been to someone who could love me fully, to the forever I could win. You were my almost, and almost is the cruelest word. It's the flight that never leaves the ground, a song that's never heard. It's the almost happy ending, the almost ever after. It's the almost love that leaves you broken by its almost laughter. You were my almost, and almost is a permanent quiet ache. The life we almost had is the one I can't seem to forsake. I'm learning that almost almost is not nothing, almost is not zero. Almost is the evidence that I was capable of being a hero to someone. Almost is proof that I could love that close, that deep. Almost is not the failure, almost is not the sleep of love. Almost is the almost, and almost is enough to know that I can love. Almost is not the bluff. You were my almost, and I am grateful for the almost, for the nearly, for the close. You were my almost, and I am learning that almost is not nothing, almost is not lost. Almost is the almost, and almost was enough to teach me